Alright, what's up guys? Got a game that hasn't started yet because I haven't had the replay. There's that. I also didn't turn auto skip pause on. This is what happens when I don't do things. Anyway, it's Gold Cycle 3 Loser Back Round 2, Throes of Throws versus Izu. And this is going to be a solo cast today. Apparently all of my buddies have abandoned me with their nonsense and such. I don't know. Don't know why they don't love me anymore, but apparently they don't. But I will soldier on for you, people who actually might care about this, of which there are probably not very many. But hey, just because it's two lesser-known teams in the losers bracket of Gold Division doesn't mean it's not worthy of coverage. It's still HoN, damn it. But FJ is back for this one, and he will be captaining his Izu team once again, going up against Throes of Throws, who are mostly a bunch of friends, 15 to 1800 friends. I've spoken with Crazykill a little bit. He was participating in my tournament last weekend, so we got to know each other a little bit, and that was fun. Nice guy. Good for him. Anyway, first couple of bans here for the leading side are Cthulhu and Magmus, so nothing particularly surprising about that. Hellborn going to take out Swiftblade and Parasite, and then again, no huge surprises there. First pick, Rhapsody, again very expected, leaving Crazykill really out in the cold when it comes to the top 5 most powerful heroes at this point. He can go in a variety of directions as a result of that. Wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Bubbles. Glacius first pick would be a little odd, I think. But no doubt lots of options here, and this is a loser's bracket, which of course means that if you lose this series, you are out of Gold Division, but it is not the loser's bracket round 1, so you will not be removed from Gold Division for next cycle. Both of these teams are confirmed for Gold if they want it. And Tempest's going to be the second pick there from FJ, and Glacius was the first pick from Crazykill, so I'm kind of surprised. I think Tempest would have been a better selection here for the Hellborn side. And if you're not going to go for that, it does seem like Glacius isn't really something you need to pick up this early. Obviously, the Rhapsody being chosen by the Legion side means that they're probably not going to go for the dual support immediately, and even if they do, they're giving away a lot of their strategy. And Empath still on the board, Torture would still be on the board. Hey, Pyromancer, Witch Slayer, all sorts of nice support options, Engineer. So even if they take that Rhapsody Glacius away from you, you still have selections, although like I said, the Hellborn side, not necessarily the most skilled individual players, so they might not have the biggest hero pool in terms of what they can play. And second pick, Pearl, actually. It's kind of surprising. We really don't see Pearl very often. There was a lot of talk about how strong this hero was, and we just basically never saw it. But apparently going to be picked up here in the Gold Division. And speaking of a unconventional support, it's definitely one of them. So we'll see how they choose to run that. And of course, it's not necessarily going to be a support. We have seen Pearl run as a farmer before. I believe Fuzi's played it for BMG before they disbanded. Of course, he did pass away. So unfortunate, but oh well. Anyway, that got a little depressing. So we'll see how Pearl is used in this game. I would expect it to be a support, and wouldn't be surprised if would be super surprised if it's not. Ento's apparently shut up is in chat. I don't know what the hell you're doing in chat and you're not in this game casting it with me. I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense to me. Apparently Brown is true mentality. I don't know what that means. Silhouette third pick there for the Legion side, and presumably that'll be in FJ's hands, as he does usually play the carry for them, I think. I know he plays a Soul Stealer, of course. Just known as, I don't know if he's known as just a Soul Stealer player or if he is actually a legit carry player, but either way, he wouldn't be surprising to be having play the Silhouette. Yeah, I don't know what I have to leave. Who cares? I don't care. This guy. And Rivener, third pick there. That's actually set up fairly well with Glacius. The Ice Imprisonment into the Ball Lightning should be a nice combo, but this is suggesting Tri-Lane to me, and I don't know if Pearl is really the best Tri-Lane hero. Ravener is very, very commonly run in a Tri-Lane, so wouldn't be surprised at all to see a Tri-Lane coming out from Throes of Throws, which is, by the way, a pretty fantastic name. I have to give them credit for that. It's a good team name. Not really sure where I was going with that other than that's a good team name, but anyway. Perhaps giving a little too much away with their strat here, as Yeah. That's definitely a weird draft. So we'll see what they do with it. I don't know if Pearl's a good tri-lane hero. I suspect actually with the Soothing Presence and the what's the Asphyxiate, she might be a pretty solid tri-laner. I don't think I've ever really seen her run as a tri-lane. The World Bubble would be terrible because it just pushes people away, but if you can freeze people into a ball lightning and then the Asphyxiate, and using the Soothing Presence on top of that to keep the heroes in the tri-lane nice and healed, that could be pretty strong. It does feel like they gave that away. Now, they did third pick the Silhouette on Legion side, and Silhouette does not like to be pressured, so if they can manage to tri-lane against her, that would work very well, but Legion could even send her mid if they want, as presumably it will be a 1v1 in the middle lane, and they could dual lane mid for that matter, and then essentially suicide bottom and run a 1v1 at the top, as I assume this can be an aggressive tri-lane, although it could be defensive, don't really know yet, but I wouldn't mind seeing Legion side pick up two strong solo heroes, have Rhapsody and Silhouette run in the middle lane where they know it's going to be, or they don't know, but they're pretty sure it's going to be 1v1, and they can make the rotation if necessary if they don't actually tri-lane. So Legion side still have some options here, of course. The Tempest giving them some more flexibility in terms of where they can really put their lanes. Well, sort of. But Hellborn with their early support picks and the Ravener third, I don't know why they would pick these heroes this early either. I mean, Pearl and Ravener are not going to get banned out, so the necessity to remove those heroes from the pool, to take them now before they get removed from the pool is kind of not really there. But I don't know. That's strange. Anyway, Bubbles, Dark Lady, and Moon Queen, the three bans from the Legion side. Rex, Hag, Madman, and Kraken, the three bans to the Hellborn side. So Hellborn looking to ban out the Suicides, and again the strong solo lane heroes, Hag, Madman, and Kraken, all definitely that type of hero, as they assume that Rhapsody is going to be dual laning without Silhouette, which isn't necessarily the case, but it wouldn't be surprising. Bubbles, TDL, and Moon Queen going to be the bans, as I said, and mostly focused on the hard carries there, trying to remove the short lane option for the Hellborn team, as well as Bubbles, who's just generally a versatile solo hero, and if they do try to tri-lane, obviously would fit their draft very well. It does leave the Doctor open, so maybe we'll be able to pick up a Doctor who I guess can solo. I'm not really super a fan of that, although with the Grinnex pickup, which suggests a Suicide, which I'm even less a fan of, he will do just fine against the Grinnex, probably. I think I've seen Grinnex beat Doctor before, but I don't know if that will necessarily happen here. But it wouldn't be the worst time in the world for Grinnex. Dr. Pulsers doesn't really have the capacity to kill him unless he gets Rev, and then he would probably still have to hit level 6 before anything could really happen. I don't know. Seems mediocre, but I'm still mad that purple and yellow, they're in the wrong spots. It should be years of pain only for you. That's way better. Come on, guys. Get it together. But Devour the last pick here, so presumably that will in fact be a short lane Silhouette then. And we'll see how that does for F-Shade's team. I don't really like it. I would have liked something that can have a little more versatility, and maybe that's a Grinnex pick that's wrong there. But yeah, I think it actually is the Grinnex pick that's wrong there, because like it's such a mediocre hero in general. And yeah, he's gonna solo, which is good. Devour can also solo, which is good. So they can run the dual lane Cell Wrap, but I would have preferred to get them a little bit more of, it should have been a little harder for them to decipher what the lanes are going to be, because at this point it should be a relatively clear Grinnex top, dev mid, Cell bot. So that doesn't mean that's what they're going to do. It's just like that's probably the permutation that makes sense for them. And against a team that looks like it's running a tri-lane, I mean, it really does look like this is just going to be a tri-lane, because Ravener is a tri-lane hero, Repulsor and Scout both like their levels. Scout's definitely a solo. Repulsor could be dual lane, but it seems unlikely. And like, I feel like these Legion picks aren't quite up to the standard that they should be when it comes to, these. You need to not give so much away, is what it comes down to. I don't really remember what was on the board at this point, but I have to imagine there's a better pick than Grinnex on the board, considering Grinnex is a terrible freaking hero. But regardless, I mean, I guess that's what they went for, so We'll see the lane shake out here. At the beginning, looks like Scout's headed top, which wouldn't make... I guess, yeah, it's got to be Scout top, Repulsor mid, aggro tri-lane. They could run the safe lane, tri-lane, and suicide the Scout. By all means, but Scout does have a hatchet, which means that he's not suiciding. Yes, Enthos coming in with the insight in chat. These drafts are so bad. I agree with you. Be better if you said that. Shirk. I'm so hurt, Enthos. I'm so hurt. You hurt all my feelings. I thought you liked me, and now it turns out you were just using me for something. I'm not really sure what, but you probably were doing that. This guy. FJ. Being a mannered player. Look at him. Enthos, I've been sick for like 2 weeks. Calm the hell down. You listen to my voice now, and you listen to it from like 2 weeks ago. It's way different. But anyway, it looks like they're gonna run the 2-1-2 strat, and I hate this in so many different ways. They set the tri-lane up fairly nicely, and what the hell is Pearl Ravener gonna do against the Silhouette and a Rhapsody? Or even just a solo Silhouette? Probably not very much. Oh, Enthos apparently is getting sick from the drafts, which is fair. Legion's draft isn't that bad. I mean, they picked the Grinix, which was terrible, but outside of that, they did pretty well for themselves. The Hellborn's draft is weird. It's super greedy, and the lanes are strange, and even in that regard, they're laning this wrong, so... Yeah, like, I'm not really liking what Throes of Throws is doing here, so... I don't know, we'll see how it works out for them, but I'm not particularly optimistic. I don't get why you'd pick Ravener and then dual lane it with a Pearl. Of all heroes, why wouldn't you dual lane with Glacius, where at least you can set up the ball lightning with a Knight's Imprisonment? This makes zero sense to me, but Rhapsody can transition to the bottom lane. No surprise there, and so that's pretty much where she belongs. And middle lane will be Doctor versus Devourer. Grinix actually get some lane control up top here. Pretty good for him. And I don't know why you dual lane a Scout either. Oh, crap, look at that. Missing the Bloodlust on the bottom. But I have no co-casters, which means I can do this. Just go back and the replay. Ball lightning gonna be dodged there. And Tree Grapple forward actually catches Pearl. That was cool. I'm not sure if that was what he intended to do with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I did see Pearl going through there, and he was pretty damn low. So, Years of Pain, picking up the Bloodlust on that Silhouette, which is pretty much exactly what you don't want to have happen if your Throws of Throws at this point. And still going to sit at just under 500 gold per minute now. That is, of course, inflated because of the Bloodlust. It will start to crater. But she should be able to essentially take control of this bottom lane, and now that Pearl's gotten Bloodlusted, they can't win this lane. So what they need to do is transition. They need to put Scout in the Suicide roll down here, and they need to put the Ravener in the top lane. They could dual lane mid if they want to, get some more guaranteed farm on Dr. Repulsor, and I actually think I like that. So I want to see Pearl head mid, and Scout head bottom, and Ravener head top, because... Or, you know, they could put Repulsor top, actually, and Ravener mid. Either of those would work. Depends on how much transitioning they want to do, and are able to do, really. But Rap's going to get chased down a little bit here by Ravener. Not going to really get initiated on. Still missing the last hit there, but top lane Grinix going to lose lane control, and actually going to start onto Glacius here, and do a fair bit of damage, but he gets dusted, not dusted, but he gets silenced out. The eye actually not placed down for long enough to reveal the invis, and Grinix will be okay. But this Glacius takes a bunch of damage from that Grinix, and this lane may not be able to do too much against him. Just the lockdown is just not great. I mean, they need more than just the Glacius freeze because of how mobile Grinix is. And he is going to get lane control here as he pulls the wave back. Took some unnecessary damage there, and probably could have gotten better lane control, but oh well. Top lane is controlled by Glacius here, has the illusions, and looks like he might rotate middle. No, just going to send one. Speaking of middle, we currently have Devour at 260 gold per minute compared to Dr. Repulsor at 220, so Doctor's somehow losing this lane. And I don't really see how. I mean, he's got to avoid the hook early on, but yeah, missing a CS there. And gets one actually bottom lane once again, getting a kill, and this time onto the Doctor, onto Ravener. So let's go back once more. World Bubble actually not doing too much. Asphyxiate onto Silhouette, but she doesn't really care. She uses the True Grapple to get there. And Ravener, or actually picks up the kill onto the Ravener, which I saw die 3 times or something like that. But again, I think it's better to see the kills, to use the replay feature. Anyway, middle lane, Devour to get jumped here by Dr. Repulsor, and here comes Glacius. Has the freeze out, but this is just such a tanky dev. I think still he is going to die. He's getting slowed down pretty heavily. The question is, will he be able to deny himself? Going to set the bottle. Deny yourself, deny yourself? No, he's going to live. That's kind of shocking. He had like 10 health right there. Now, Tempa's going to get chased out here by these 2 heroes. Bottle charge is being used all over the place. Tempa's looking for some Glacial Blast perhaps. Gets pulled in by the opposite charges. Devour, you might be real careful about this here, buddy. But Repulsor's now in kind of a bad position. As he's going to get collapsed on by a number of heroes. Glacius! Ooh, will get the kill as the Thunder Blast goes through, but they get the counter kill on to Dr. Repulsor. And that's fine. Rhapsody is standing around here against the Glacius, which may not be the best plan. No Thunder Blast available, so she will be able to run away and be just fine. Yeah, that was really silly.
Double tap.
I'm not really sure what his plan is here, but Glacius actually is going to die to Tempest. Just barely. Throes of Throws, man. Making some plays, and then getting played. That was an interesting engagement. I don't even know what to do about that. It's up top. Grenix jumping on the scout a little bit. Grenix actually out-leveling the scout. Not a huge surprise, as he will just dual lane for a while. And the bottom lane, Years of Pain, still 340 gold per minute compared to Curly at 162 on this Ravener. And even without Rhapsody, against the dual lane here, it's not really that much of a problem. Anyway, Repulsor getting chased down by Devour, and is this going to be enough for a kill? Yes. Dev just barely going to be able to live. And has a health pot, which, yep, there we go. So, big kill onto Repulsor once again right there, preventing him from getting level 6. And now Devour is level 6. He's got plenty of mana as well, so if he gets some help, then, or actually not even if he gets some help, just if he gets a hook, is what I mean to say. He could very well kill that Repulsor yet again. And Repulsor now at 160 gold per minute. So look at the GPM charts here. And the Hellborn side, other than the Scout, it's just suffering. 164 GPM on the Ravener is their 2nd highest farmer in the game. That's just not going to cut it. I mean, you look at the Legion side, 350 GPM on Silhouette. Everybody else above 240, which isn't the greatest. But, hey, it's a lot better what the Hellborn is doing. We're going to chase out Glacius here, and doing a fair bit of damage, actually. I doubt he's going to be able to pick up this kill, but wow, actually, that hit him really hard. Thunder Blast goes through. Going to need some help from Scout, but there's imprisonment. Wow. Scout apparently not really feeling like it was his job to help Glacius out at any point there. I don't know why. He had full health and full mana. But FJ gets killed on Glacius. Marksman shot right in his face. It's not going to matter. Grenix will just run away from this and start to sip his bottle. Which I assume he got a refreshment rune there. And I guess the bottom rune was controlled by somebody. Devour had a regen. Repulsor now level 6, going to be a lot harder to lock him down, but Devour does still have the ultimate, so if he can manage to time it correctly before Repulsor can get his ult off, then that would work very well. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Ravener getting jumped on once again. Deathload is available, but an easy kill there, as Tempest comes in for the gank. And that will be it for that engagement. As Pearl backs the hell off. Wouldn't be surprised if Tempest starts to push this a little bit. As he's level 6, so doesn't have access to level 4 elementals quite yet, but we'll have them soon. And this bottom tower hasn't taken too much damage, but once Tempest gets going, it definitely will. Rhapsody on the team as well, of course. Very helpful for the pushing strats. Hook from Devour not going to connect in the middle lane. And actually, that's going to be a counter onto him as Glacius coming in. And Repulsor looking for something. Devour going to eat Glacius here. We'll see if he can get a counter kill on this. And no, he cannot. So only for you taking the death. As a nice rotation comes in from Glacius. The Ward of Sight, I guess, didn't spot him until it was too late. It's a bit unfortunate, but Grenix now going to take his opportunity to farm the middle lane, which is a little bit safer than the top, I guess. And Scout's doing quite well up there, 320 gold per minute. But he's probably not in too much danger no matter where he goes. Silhouette, in the meantime, is going to kill Ravener. I didn't realize which was a real one. Ball landing actually poured it onto him. That wasn't the greatest plan. Although I suppose the illusion was maybe chasing him down. And Ravener here, just not working well. What Enthos? 0-3-0 Ravener, 132. Really? Are they scrimming? Apparently Primakers versus Tree is scrimming. I know Fusen said he had scrims today, so that's cool. Good for them. I have to cast these games, Enthos. I have to cast these games before Cycle 4 starts, which is tomorrow. I have 4 series that I haven't covered yet. Nah, I'm doing Gold Division for the most part today. Scrims is nice, but I got competitive matches, man. Anyway, Grinix here looking for something on Glacius, but not really doing all that well. Here comes Tempest with Glacial Blast. Where's the ultimate? Gets pushed back. Looking for the ulti still. And they're sort of grouped up a little bit. There's a Tempest ultimate onto just the Dr. Repulsor and the Dev. Not really necessary, but they do manage to get the kill. And he was mostly out of mana, for that matter, so probably not going to work. No, Enthos. I will not cast those scrims. Sorry. I'd like to, and if I didn't have this stuff to do, then I would, but I like to cast the competitive matches. I like to get everything from gold done. I'm so close. And I'm a completionist. That's what I am. I still haven't finished Cycle 2, and that will get done at some point. Winter's Bracket Finals, the only match that hasn't been done there. Anyway, Grinix in the background trying to jump onto people, but he eats a ball lightning and doesn't have a lot of mana left, so you're not going to have the Rift Stock available for a very long time. He is going to take a death here as Repulsor jets in, so FJ getting a little aggressive there and paying for it. As in the bottom lane, Tempest did finally start to push this. Glyph Fortification goes down to stop the push, but it's not going to actually stop it. It'll just slow it down a little bit. And this is definitely going to be a kill on this tower. Rhapsody taking the ball lightning here, and she could be in some trouble. Scout coming in with the invis, but they don't really know which target they want to go on. He wants Tempest. Marksman shot onto Rhapsody, and actually it's going to be cancelled by the Glacial Blast. That's what that was. And the Ravener here also in a lot of trouble, and he gets the kill before the ball lightning goes off, so but unfortunate there for Rav, but another couple of kills the Legion side, and actually Repulsor coming in from the background will be able to finish off the Rhapsody and the Tempest, but dies for it. In the meantime, Devour manages to kill the, what is that, Glacius? Yeah. That was Silhouette managed to get the snipe on Glacius somehow. I'm not really sure how. It was the Death Lotus, I assume, but happened to have the right angle. But anyway, Years of Pain at 538 gold per minute. That's not good. 11 minutes into this game, about 4.5k golden experience up is the Legion side. And once again, the GPM charts are suffering for Hellborn. 234 GPM on Dr. Repulsor is better than what they had before, but it's still not very good, and Scout at 350 gold per minute isn't going to be viable for a while. Sustainers picked up on Silhouette. That's going to be her Nullstone relatively quickly. And Scout going for the Abyssal Skull as opposed to the Cleave, which is actually the right decision considering how greedy their lineup is. He really just can't go Cleave. He needs to be more active than that, so the Abyssal Skull a good choice in that regard. And still going to start pushing this bottom lane. And she is feeling safe to just farm this Grinix and farm top, as they had taken the tier 1 tower in this top lane as well. Perhaps he will start working on this tier 1 in the long lane for his team. Middle lane, meanwhile, Tempest's going to group mid and start to push this. Just be careful about his elemental, lest it dies, but it will die because he didn't move it back. So that's going to be one less elemental to split. Dance Floor used at a weird time. And it's not going to really do too much, but mid tower is going to be heavily pressured here. Grinix looking for somebody to scout out and cut off, maybe. Elemental going to hang out in the woods. We'll spot out a hasted Repulsor. Hook not going to connect from Devour. And this is going to be a dead tower. The question is, will it be denied? Scout coming in. And in the background, actually, Grinix will pick up Glacius pretty easily. Staccato stuns and the ultimate from Devour going on to Repulsor, but they didn't stack that very well. They used the Staccatos while Dev was ulting. Meanwhile, they get the hook back onto Pearl, and that'll be a kill onto her, but really should have been able to get the Repulsor as well. Marksman shot onto Devour. He's not going to care too much about that, as Scout's in the Kongor pit. Meanwhile, off to the side here, Silhouette picking off Ravener once again, and in the meantime, Scout trying to run through these woods. Not going to find too much, as it's a 5v1 pretty much right now. These side going to continue to push, and might as well. Silhouette with an Illusion Rune. He's taking a bunch of tower damage, but again, tier 2. Yeah, there's been some interesting plays. Anyway, HoN Tour here onto Dr. Repulsor, and he will die pretty much immediately. And in the meantime, they're going to Staccatos onto Glacius, who actually looks like he might survive as the ball lightning goes into Silhouette. Tempest ultimate catches Ravener, but nothing else, so they kill him as well. And Years of Pain on a bloodbath streak for a while now. I don't think he's too far off of his immortal. Actually, he's 5 kills off of his immortal, so never mind. And here comes the push. Izu knowing exactly how far ahead they are, and that the Hellborn side really can't do anything about this. Every time they try to engage, they just die.
The Legion have destroyed a
So it looks like this will be Rax. The entire Hellborn side is up, and the Illusion here will eat the ball lightning, but actually Rhapsody ultimate in the background is stopped by, looks like Scout, something, but 2 are dead right off the bat in the Rhapsody and the Devourer. They do the counter kill onto Ravener, and it looks like Tempest also falls here. Silhouette standing her ground, trying to kill this Dr. Repulsor, is out of mana, but so is Doctor. He's trying to get enough to get his ludicrous speed off, and now Sol realizing, yeah, this isn't such a great situation. Death Lotus, yeah, gets the kill. Is he still gonna live? No, he's not. Oh god, yes, he does die. Scout just barely able to finish him off. So that 12-1 record, just a little bit below the Immortal, and Grenek's not going to be able to catch Scout because for some reason I guess he didn't realize that was happening, but Pearl also going to get inside of the base, and he will be fine. Scout hanging out in the woods here, trying not to get cut off by this Grenex, who will kill him if he gets found. And FJ, it looks like will be the end of that, so Legion side coming out with a pretty nice push there as they take 3 straight towers, and repeated team fights go their way before the Hellborn finally kick them out and managed to get something in their favor. But they have now lost a tier 3 tower at 15 minutes into this game, which is not really what you're looking for, I want to say. Just, I don't know, doesn't seem great. And in the meantime, 570 GPM on the Silhouette has enough for her Nullstone, of course, and she does buy it there. And she will just continue to farm this top lane, so pretty easy stuff for her, pretty easy game for Silhouette at this point. And she is just ridiculously farmed. I haven't taken too many towers in the top lane, specifically 0, and they really haven't done too much damage to this lane either, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take down those towers, or maybe they just feel like they can keep pushing middle. Tempest ultimate back up in about 40 seconds. And Silhouette Illusion will find the Scout here, and it will lead them to her team, at which point she might just port into it. Nope. Silhouette, and if you push this top tower, we'll be able to get it relatively easily. Glyph of Fortification does go off, but yeah, there's nothing they can do about this, especially because the Soul Illusion is in the middle lane.
The Legion has
and there she just
destroyed
ports
a
to it.
Hellborn tower.
So they kill the tier 1 there. Now the rest of the Legion side is middle, and the whole Hellborn team is top. I don't know what they're doing there. But they're all buying ports too. None of them have ports apparently. Ravener didn't have a port. They're all buying ports and heading back. In the meantime, the Rax is dead. Hook there onto Pearl, and she's going to be dead right off the bat, which is a problem because of her defensive capabilities. So there go the Rax. Dust's going to go off onto Scout, but he was fast enough to get away. Ball Lightning going to completely whiff. And Marksman shot there onto Grenix, so he'll take some damage, but not the biggest of deals. Hook from Devourer. Not going to connect. Grenix can jump onto this Glacius, but not really too much more than that. 4-man Tempest Hole, and that's going to be the easy cleanup. They're calling the GGs. No reason for Rhapsody to ult there, other than style points, but yeah, like this game's over. It's been over, I think, for a while, but it's not looking great for this Hellborn side. They haven't CC'd quite yet, so perhaps somebody feeling like they can still play this game. I don't know who it could be other than Scout, who is still at 350 gold per minute, which isn't the greatest farm, but it's the only thing. Anyway, Scout can run into a Rev Ward here, and he'll die, so
Massacre!
I don't know. And the CC vote's going to call here and go through, because it really should. I don't know. So we're going to jump here onto Glacius. Freeze eats the Nullstone, but she just ports out. Nice hook there, and it will kill craze kill on the Glacius. Dr. Repulsor looking for something to counter onto this Devour, but he's now out of mana. And Devour just going to walk away. Grenix coming in with his Rift Stock. And Great Chomp going to get the stun onto Doctor. He might actually just be able to solo kill this Doctor at this point. As in the background, Devour is eating Ravener, gets pushed away by the Whirl Bubble, and he will get the kill there and kills himself. In the meantime, Dr. Repulsor has the bottle charges up and looking for the counter kill onto this Grenix, but that's not going to happen. Grenix gets the kill. Rift stalks away. Now he's looking for something out of Pearl. Looks like he will die as the Asphyxiate finishes him off. But in the meantime, Silhouette pushing the bottom lane. And CC Fuel goes out once again. Because this Throes of Throws team is pretty clearly not on the same page. They're not really sure if they want to CC or not, and I'm not sure who's holding the speed up, but yeah, there it goes. So, game 1 there. Gonna go to the guys on Izu, as that's not what I want to do at all because this game was remade. Anyway, just a really strong performance there, I think, from the Legion team, and they don't... I'm not sure where I was going with that, but no reason for them to be scared. They basically just won all the lanes, and then said, hey, we're gonna push. Try to stop us, please. And then they couldn't. Milk fat in the HoN 31 channel. That's funny. Anyway, that'll do it for game 1 here, and we'll move on to game 2 in just a moment when I actually update this. And